All right, Daniel chapter 2. What happens in Daniel chapter 2? Remember, because these 4 Hebrew boys were found worthy, avoided the king's wine, in Daniel chapter 2, they are given understanding of end-time prophecy. Well, no. Beloved, at the time of the end, there will be a people who avoid the wine of Babylon, and because they avoid the wine of Babylon, they will be the only ones found in all the kingdom who are able to understand the prophecy. And what was the prophecy? What was the message they gave Nebuchadnezzar? The message was simple: Babylon will fall.
So he's really feeling himself here. He thinks he's just like an exegetical wizard, I guess. Daniel 2, special understanding of the end times, Babylon has fallen. So it drives me nuts how much he's feeling himself. When I was watching this and preparing, I'm like, dude, can you just get to the point? The unnecessary pauses and smug faces, nauseating. But Sam, let me break this down and connect some dots for those in the audience who might be losing some pieces due to the language barrier, not understanding their system, maybe you as well. He says that because Adventists have supposedly rejected Babylon's wine, aka false doctrine, they were found worthy and given special understanding of end times prophecy. They are the only ones that are able to understand these end times prophecies. They believe that God rewarded them as a people in the 19th century who they were just studying their Bibles prayerfully and diligently without any tradition or anything. And because they just really, really studied their Bible and prayed really, really hard, God rewarded them by giving them a light that's not been given to anyone else. So they believe they have a special prophetic calling, which, Sam, if you did not know, this is one of the core claims of the SDA movement, that God raised them up as an end times people with a special prophetic understanding to take to the rest of the world. But that's the parallel he's making from Daniel 2 to Seventh-day Adventists. They are pictured in Daniel and his friends who, because of the rejection of false doctrine, God's given them special understanding of end times events, just like Daniel was given special insights to end time events. And just like Daniel and his friends told the king that Babylon will fall, so the SDA church claims to be uniquely heralding Revelation 14, letting the world know that Babylon has fallen. Babylon being the world's religious systems, essentially. So you need to come join them as the remnant end times church. Your thoughts on this application of the text? Did you realize when you translated the book of Daniel, it's all about Seventh-day Adventists?
No, there's nothing there that right after Miller. So tries to save the whole failed Jesus didn't come back thing.
Say that again. Your mic was it cut out for a second there.
Well, I know that Ellen G. White came after or was with contemporary with William Miller. Yeah. And then after the failed predictions of Miller, she saves those, redacts a little bit and does what she's got to do. And well, here's what really happened in 1841. So it's interesting that this is all contemporary with other eschatological groups that are coming out around this time. The Shakers, in time, they have the mother. I forget her actual name, but
Ann Lee.
Yeah. And outside of here in Ohio, just right. I actually have an original book, I think it's 1840 something, first print of their work, of her prophecies. And again, the end times and all of that. Well, a young lad named Joseph Smith, he's going through all this.
Charles Russell.
These guys are coming out. That's really they're really breathing that air in. And here's dispensationalism. You get really this interesting rise, turn of the century, early 20th century, of these eschatological movements. And along with that, the Pentecostal holiness, end times, last days, Acts chapter 2. You get all of this kind of stuff really, really going on. And dispensationalism, which Adventism is sort of a form of dispensationalism, but it's got its own thing going on.
It's so funny because they like
uncanny how parallel this stuff is.
Well, and they loathe dispensationalism.
Yeah.
But they don't see, but it's the same thing. They loathe Roman Catholicism too. And there's so many parallels that they don't even see.
Well, if I'm listening to this guy, and I'm glad you said something about being slick. So you see this obvious tens of thousands of dollars production here. Stage. I mean, this takes. I'm in ministry. That's a lot of money right there.
Yeah, it's 3ABN, Three Angels Broadcasting Network.
Yeah, I mean, there's money. I mean, there's millions of dollars going on right there.
Oh, for sure.
And he is just not judging his heart. This is purely only looking at appearances. But he's got the whole, and he's judging on appearances. He's a great speaker. He's holding his pauses.
Yeah, good orator. Yeah.
I mean, that's great salesmanship there that really pulls and it makes sense, and it's exciting and it's new and it's got and look at the production. How can somebody like this be wrong? You know, we're not talking about some podunk guy in some church with 20 people going to it out in the middle of
right.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Weasel Creek.
Yeah. So that's all Babylonian, I would say.
Yeah, I know. That's another funny parallel too. Is like, well, and the thing is
what culture are you copying? Because that looks like Hollywood to me.
Well, and it's funny, man. That there's a lot, and I don't want to sidetrack on this, but there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of rules for thee and not for me that kind of runs within Adventism, and then it kind of just trickles its way down. But now he's going to end by letting us know what the prophecy of Daniel is. So he hasn't told us the prophecy yet. He's been telling us about some of these other ones. Well, now we're going to listen. It's about 4 minutes here. We're going to listen to the whole thing, and he's going to let us know now what the prophecy is.